Time management essentially boils down to being the most efficient as you can with your resources. So that means doing the most with the least. Time, as you know, is a limited resource. We only have 24 hours in a day. But of course, we're not awake for 24 hours every single day. You have to sleep, you have to eat, you have to work, you have to take care of yourself. So it does become very easy to fall behind on our goals and the things that we're most passionate about, because at the end of the day, when we get done all of the things that we have to do, we don't always have time to do the things that we want to do. And even then, sometimes there's just not enough time in the day to do everything that we need to do. So time management is essentially being able to prioritize the things that are most important, allocating enough time to get those things done, while also ensuring that you have the time to just exist, just to do the things that you want to do, that you need to do, and just have a comfortable life. Hey, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to October. We are going to be going over a couple time management strategies that you can implement to start having more productive days. It's really not about working harder all the time. Sometimes it's just being smarter with your time and your resources. So obviously, one of the biggest benefits of time management is reduce stress and increase time to do the things that you actually want to do. You'll find yourself a lot more organized, and being so will open you up to a lot more opportunities because you don't have to scramble to figure out how to get things done. And when you have time to do this and that, when you're organized and you have a plan and you have a system and a routine to get things done, you are able to work in more of the things that you want to do because you have given yourself that allowance by being smarter with your time and being efficient in the way that you get things done. So some simple ways for you to start getting more things done is by having to-do lists, by tracking your time blocking. You can use the Pomodoro technique. All of these are things that we're going to talk about more as the month progresses, but for now, these are just some top level ideas for you to get acquainted with. You can also learn to delegate your tasks. So if you are in a position of maybe you are an employer, like you're self-employed, but you also have like a small team working with you, you don't have to do everything by yourself. If you're not a one-person show and there's a partner or there's other people working with you, you can free up some of your time by delegating tasks to your team members. You can ask for help. You can ask your friends and family to help you work on your goals, to work on your projects, to get things done. So there's many ways to free up time in your day and be more productive by being more efficient, by asking for help, by delegating tasks, and having a system or a workflow that makes everything as streamlined as possible. So one of the things that's most important to really get this going is to have some sort of daily routine, some sort of system that you follow, because I love this quote. I don't remember who said it. I'm going to try to find it, but we do not rise up to occasions, we fall to our system. Essentially, we are only as good as the systems that we employ, right? So you're not always going to be able to get everything done and rise to the occasion and be like an overachiever and do a million things every single day. But the bare minimum of what you're able to achieve is only possible if you plan and you have a system in place for you to actually do those things. What that may look like is having a Google Calendar where you block out your time. You can have like a physical to-do list where every morning or every evening, maybe even both, you write down what it is that you need to get done the next day. I would suggest having a top priorities list and then another column where you have your general to-do list of like everything that you need to do, but definitely have a list where you document your top 1 to 5 things. I would say no more than 5, because if you have 10 priorities, they're not all priorities. You just need to have better time management. I mentioned this before in many other videos, but I am a spreadsheet girly. I love spreadsheets. So for my work as a freelance graphic designer, I work with many different clients, and that takes a lot of organization. So I do have a spreadsheet where I document all of my tasks, all of my deliverables, everything that I'm working on exists in one comprehensive spreadsheet. I have it color coded by priorities and due dates. So I may have like an urgent priority where it's red, and then I will have like an ongoing, a currently working on, and a already completed category. You can do this using Google Spreadsheets. You can use a Notion template. You can literally just have a list, although I would say a digital place for it would be a lot better because you can always update it in real time, whereas with a physical pen and paper list you would have to manually update it and keep track of where that paper is, and that can just make things a lot more complicated than it needs to be. I will have in the description below a template of the Google spreadsheet. We've talked about it in previous videos. You can watch that playlist here, but essentially you want to have some sort of daily routine. In previous videos, we talked about specifically an evening routine to help you wind down from a busy day, but I also want you to have a routine in the sense of every day you know what it is that you need to do. You don't have to do the same things every single day, like every day at 10 a.m. you do this. You don't have to do that. If you want to, fine, but I just want you to get in the habit of being on top of what it is you need to get done, because once you have that structure, you can find the patterns in what you do, and then you're able to optimize those things to be more efficient by streamlining the process. Let's say you do decide to track your time every day. So you go about your daily life, you do the things that you always do, but you keep a note of like, you know, at 5 p.m. after work, I watch TV. At 7 p.m., I take a shower, blah, 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 blah. Let's say over time, you start to realize that around 12 p.m. every day, you have an extra 10 minutes after you're done eating your lunch before you have to go back to work. You can then spot that pattern and decide that I can use this extra 10 to 15 minutes to work on something else so that when I go home, I have more time to watch TV and relax and do all the things that I want to do instead of having to catch up on work that I didn't finish earlier. That's not to say work through your lunch break. Maybe that was a bad example, but what I'm trying to get at is that by tracking your time, by having a daily routine, you are able to see opportunities for you to improve and to make things more efficient, because if you do the same thing every day, over time you're going to be able to see how you can do things differently to either make the process quicker or more enjoyable. So in the example of having downtime at work, you may come to realize that, you know, every day at this time or after I do this work task, I have the opportunity to work on something else that I then don't have to worry about doing later on because you found a pocket of time for you to get it done sooner in the day. It can also work in the reverse. Maybe there's something that you always do in the morning, but then you find out by implementing a schedule and tracking your time and monitoring how you do things, you will come to find that maybe it's better suited to do these things in the evening when you have more energy from, you know, relaxing after work, or you just have more creativity in the evening. Personally, I am a night owl. I get a lot of done at night because it's quiet. I can think, I can focus, there's no distractions. So if you're also one of those people, trying to be creative in the morning may not allow you to get as much done because there's distractions. You're getting phone calls and texts, you're working on this stuff at the same time, you're doing all of these different things. By having this schedule and this routine, you will then realize that, hey, I could probably do this in the evening instead. You can always improve on your routine, always tweak things to see how they can be better and improve on what you find. We will be back next week with a brand new video diving even deeper into everything we talked about today, so make sure you stay tuned. Thank you so much if you made it to the end of the video. I will see you guys next week. Bye.